out in the desert.
Neighbors claimed they practice witchcraft.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Haunted Heart Podcast.
The Haunted Heart with your hosts, me and her.
Otherwise known as Kenny and Katie.
Kenny and Katie, yes.
We're not going to tell you which one's Kenny, though, and which one's Katie, because you can figure it out yourself.
That's a surprise.
Surprise for you.
Surprise.
You think
Just
you know.
Like,
Maybe
but you don't.
Maybe you don't know. Maybe we don't know.
We don't know some days, to be quite honest. It kind of reminds me of, what was that show on MTV? MTV
Cribs?
True Life? No. No.
Next?
Real Life.
Next was the fucking
MTV
bomb.
True Life, where it'd always be like, you think you know, but you have no idea.
That's just like every
It's
day
like
of my life.
MTV's True Life, Real Life, something like that, some bullshit like that of like a fucking serial killer. I don't know.
Huh. Interesting. I never watched
don't
that
remember
one.
that?
That's like every day.
Wow,
I don't remember
okay.
a lot. I don't remember a lot.
Memory's not what it used to
It's
be.
not. It's not.
It's not at all. Well, so
Welcome back. Here we are.
this is that point where you've probably heard Katie talks about where I toss it up in the air and then just expect her to catch it and look at her desperately. That's what that was.
And
right
here's
there.
me flailing.
And then we're both flailing. Yes.
It's all good. We missed you last
we
week
did.
with Black Lives Matter, so there you go.
Yep. We did miss you. Missed you a lot. And world's kind of crazy right now.
Yes.
Even more so, which, who would have thought that, right?
I mean, 2020 at this point is just... It's just a trash fire. But I'm
It
really
is.
hoping that we can move, that we can we're going through, this is the Ugly Betty phase that everybody goes through. This is like the 17, 16, 15, 16, 17, or if you're me, it's apparently just my whole fucking life, Ugly Betty stage, where then you morph into a beautiful, well-rounded, intelligent, respectful, loving person. So I'm hoping that 2020 is the dark time, and then we're going to merge out into the light of 2021, and we just going to have all kinds of good vibes.
Like a
good
phoenix.
vibes only.
Like a phoenix.
Yes.
Just, up in flames and then rise from the ashes. Or like that, did you see that video that the commencement speech that Lady Gaga
Yes.
posted where she talked about, it was really beautiful. I definitely recommend looking it up, where she talked about, sowing the new trees and it was about trees
planting
and
the
forests.
seeds of a new forest that will be beautiful. Yeah.
So
It was good. It was much better than our rendition.
Really.
I did think she was doing sign language through half of that, though, because she just has a lot of gestures.
I appreciated that, though.
It was good. It was calming. I think, what I think she was doing? I think
What?
she'd been watching that ASMR girl. She doing them Reiki hand movements they be doing up on ASMR.
That is true. I did notice that, and I was like, because some of it seemed almost like it was sign language intentional.
Yes,
And
yes.
I was like, But you also have to, think that one, she's Italian, and
Yes.
two, just her personality. Like I use a lot of hand movements, even now.
I do
am
as well.
using
That's
hand
why I
movements.
smack the fucking mic all the time.
That is true. Which you've been doing good.
Yeah, it's
about
because
that.
it's because I sit on my hands sometimes when we record.
Well, now
I
that
try
we
to make
have
it
decent
casual.
mics and actually had to buy equipment to, that suspends our mics away from your body.
Oh, I still hit it. You just normally don't notice it as much.
Either I don't notice it or
So
I
you edit.
just have
Gotten used to it. You
Gotten
just
used to
accepted
it, and
it.
I just don't edit it out anymore.
accepted
Like I stopped editing out your ums.
There is a memorization trick with the hand gestures, though.
Hmm.
There's none for you. They see when you do it, when you say something about it, then I do it more.
Yeah.
But there is a memorization trick with hand motions where if you do certain physical movement while you're memorizing something like a speech or lines, if you're an actor and you have to memorize them for a play, you do a certain movement on certain lines, and your body, your muscle memory captures the line easier than if you were just trying to memorize it flat out. It's a memorization trick for some people. So that could be it too.
That's cool.
Singing
That's cool.
also helps, but she was not trying to sing.
No. So we don't have your standard Patreon invocation this week, but we still wanted to light a candle just for the world at this point, and just for everyone that has been affected with everything that's been going on, and just offer our support for Black Lives Matter and for everyone that's out there that is protesting and fighting and working towards building that new forest for us all.
Yes, because it will take everybody to build it. So lighting a candle to help us find a way forward.
Yes.
I guess. All right. And with
Ooh.
that light, surround sound.
Surround sound, honey. Yes.
With that light, we're gonna make good use of it this week.
Are we?
Because we're talking about a dark topic.
God damn it.
But not a depressing one. Not a depressing one. It is dark, but you'll see what I mean when we get into it. But it's not. This is not a heavy episode. It's not intended to be a heavy episode. After we took a week off last week, a week of silence, a moment to pause and reflect on everything that's going on, I really struggled with like what we would come back with.
Yeah.
Because with everything that's going on in the world right now, it's so crazy. There's so much violence. There's so much angst. There's a lot of love out there too, and there's a lot of beauty that's happening amidst all of this horrible craziness. We don't want to just put the spotlight on the negative parts, but at the same time, everything is pretty heavy. So I didn't want to come at you guys with something just awful. Like
Really?
I didn't want to traumatize you.
I didn't want to do what I typically do.
Yeah, I didn't
which
want
is-
I didn't want to
which is,
traumatize you like I normally do.
Just make you feel my own pain and anguish and depression and bring you down to my level and then stew in it forever.
I didn't want to do that. I wanted to, but at the same time, we kind of just wanted to have a nice, fun episode this week. We're going to have some fun. We're going to maybe get some nostalgia. We're going to just kind of play around and hopefully bring you a little bit of joy.
Yeah. And I do believe we have a few, reviews that I would like to read at the end of the episode too, so you can stick around for that shit at the end, you motherfuckers that like to leave after the story. I'm looking at you.
After the story.
The story. Looking at you. Gotcha. I don't know what we're talking about this week, so I'm in the dark. This is Katie's episode. So you just throw it right at me. Hit me in the face with it right now. I'm ready.
I will. We're ready?
I'm ready.
Ready.
Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary,
Bloody Mary.
light as a feather, stiff as light as a feather, light as a feather, stiff as a board, light as a feather, stiff as a board, stiff as a board.
That was fun. We should chant together more often.
Oh, yes.
Love
Are you feeling light?
I am. I'm feeling
This-
light, honey. I'm feeling
honey.
stiff. I'm
Honey,
feeling
which
stiff
one of
with
us
all
is
these
feeling
muscle
light
cramps.
and which one of us is feeling stiff? We'll leave that up to you, the listeners, honey. I'm gonna tell you what. You know what? That is the new witch's weight loss plan. That is, you are putting that into the universe, honey. Light as a feather, light as a feather. Skinny as a legend, skinny as a legend, skinny as a legend.
I mean, that's how I do it.
I mean, if you don't do it that way, then what are you doing?
I mean, I haven't lost any weight yet, but I'm just no, I'm kidding.
Yeah, and then good old Bloody Mary. We got to call on her sometimes.
Sometimes you just got to. It could. We could have played that Lady Gaga song instead. I love that fucking song. Dun, 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 dun. That's my jam.
Bloody Mary.
If I was Bloody Mary, that's what I would want you to sing that to yourself in the mirror, and then I would show up in the homes of gay men across the nation.
Yes. In fact, that's how she ended up with me.
I summoned you.
That's what happened. I summoned her.
Yeah.
So
I still haven't really told you.
you
what
really
we're talking
haven't.
about.
I don't know. I mean, I've got a really vague idea, but it could go either way. Knowing you, I really don't know.
So
You're
this
like,
week,
let's do all this chanting and then all of this, and then it's like, okay, now let's talk about infant births. Or no, infant births.
I mean, we can if you want. We're not really that kind of a podcast.
No,
a mommy and me
let's
podcast.
Let's talk about infant deaths. Like, no, we're not.
No, we're not talking about any darkness this week. Well, we are talking about some darkness, but it's the fun kind of darkness. We are talking about the nostalgia of the childhood sleepover.
Ooh, I love this. And you know what? I feel like Christy will love this too. I feel like this might be an episode for you, Christy.
There you go. Shout
Our
out.
Murder Mod
Squad member. Yes, pizza delivery, harried parents running all over the place trying to make sure no one's kid dies. And of course, the ever-present, ever-entertaining occult games played in the dark. This week, we thought it might be nice with everything that's going on right now to slip on our jammies, turn out all the lights, light some candles, and talk about some spooky games to play in the dark.
I love that. Even though I appreciate you say we, even though I had no clue about it. So I'm really concerned. Is it you and Bloody
it's
Mary?
The royal we. It's
you
we and all of the me's.
Oh, wow.
There's a couple of us. I'm multitude. I am legion.
Wow. Okay, Trisha Paytas.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes.
Oh God. Talk about a trash fire.
She's gonna copyright strike us. You better be careful. All right. So spooky games to play in the dark at your own risk. Of course. That's our disclaimer.
That sounds like a great board game, by the way. At your own risk.
At your own risk.
I know it's like
risk is a board game. Yes.
Well, I'm going to come out with at your own risk.
At your own. What is that, like the legal liability like version of risk? Like
perhaps
taking over the world starting from within the courtroom?
At your own risk, yes. It's really just more of like a board game that's like get to know me. You know?
God.
At your own risk.
Get to know me, date me, whatever. At your own risk.
Yes,
honey.
it is. Yes, it is.
Okay.
Risk management.
So we're going to look at 5 different games to play in the dark. We're going to talk about some of the first origin of these games, and we're going to, of course, tell you how to play.
Well, I would hope so.
So that when your mom is out of the house, you can fucking summon some occult spirits to fuck some shit up and have a good time.
Yeah, this
about
is fun.
that life.
I love that. I went to a sleepover one time.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
How was it?
Well, so I used to always do the single sleepover at your best friend's house. That was typical.
That was my bag. I was a monogamous sleepover.
Same. But I think I've only ever been to one sleepover, an actual sleepover,
like a group thing.
And it was with some other kids. I think it was in early elementary school sometime, and we all slept downstairs in the basement in sleeping bags. And it was really awkward because I didn't really know some of these people, and I only got invited because the kid whose house it was, his mother and my mother knew each other.
Oh, that's the worst.
So I wasn't really.
You had no relationship with any of these kids.
I wasn't in the friend group.
Because you were the mom's friend's kid. Oof.
I wasn't in the friend group. I was just let's invite him over because, be nice, right? Pity invite. Got back at them though. I took a shit in their bidet. Because this was a bougie house and they had a bidet, and I didn't know what it was. I just thought it was just a regular, they had the full bidet, the separate thing.
Oh, the separate thing. Because I'm just thinking the thing that you screw onto your toilet. No, it was a separate one.
They had a separate bidet. I thought it was a toilet. Took a shit in it.
That's incredible.
And then realized that, there's no flush. How do you flush this?
God, that's so embarrassing.
So then ended up having to get the parents. Needless to say, I ended up leaving that night. I didn't actually stay. My mother came to pick me up. So, yeah, that was about the end of my sleepover experience.
Drama.
And especially during the day, they were let's play football, and I'm like,
No. Could we just summon a demon instead?
Can we?
Could we?
Honey, I summoned a demon. All right.
Right in the bidet. So, all right. So I actually want to acknowledge my source up front. It's a really cool, I was like I said, I was looking for things that we could talk about this week that weren't super heavy, but that would still kind of be in our spooky sort of wheelhouse. And I discovered a really cool blog called The Ghost in My Machine, Stories of the Strange and Unusual. And this blog is fucking awesome. And actually the woman who runs it, I think it's a woman who runs it. I definitely just made an assumption that there's just some version of me running this site because I love it that much.
How crazy would it be? You've mentioned this website before, though. I think I've heard this. Ghost in the Machine. Yeah.
Ghost in My Machine.
Oh, Ghost in My Machine. Maybe. I don't know.
Well, I rediscovered it then. That's that memory thing. But the writer who runs this site actually lives in DC. So
interesting.
That's super cool. I'm going to try to hunt her down
Hey,
when
neighbor.
the coronavirus is over. Again, assuming that it's a she. Have no idea, actually. So credit for a lot of the research for this episode actually goes to Ghost in My Machine. Definitely check it out. If you listen to our show and you like our show, I think you will really like this website. So definitely go see her. Oh, her name is Callie. All right. No. Sorry. This is what happens when my notes get fucking jumbled. This is what happens when I work in advance. So the first game that we're going to talk about is called The Midnight Game. The Midnight Game.
The Midnight Game.
Have you heard of this one? This is kind of like a big one.
I have. Does this have something to do with the Midnight Man?
Yes. So it wasn't as big of a deal when we were kids, but it's bigger now. But the Midnight Man is kind of tied in with that. So credit for this episode idea actually goes to one of our listeners, Callie S. from Minnesota. So she emailed the show like literally forever ago. And if you ever email the show and you recommend a topic, we actually keep that in a separate folder in our email and we refer back to it. So this is fucking proof. Yeah. If you have emailed us with a topic idea and you're like, these bitches never do what I asked them to do.
They're like,
it's in a folder. It's definitely in a folder in our email. And we do refer back to it when, we're looking for topics to research and ideas and things like that.
Yep.
So definitely if there's something that you're interested in us covering, shoot us an email. That's the best way because then it gets cataloged. Instead of Facebook Messenger, where it goes into the abyss
a
forever.
Weird space.
Yes.
No.
Where Facebook Messenger, I'm gonna try my best, but
and especially
y'all been listening to this show for long enough. You know me. Please email me.
And especially when they like try to communicate, please do send messages. I'm not trying to tell anyone don't, but
just don't expect me to refer
from the
back
Facebook
to
page.
Yes.
And I'm like, it just gets lost somehow. So if there's ever anything that you just really want us to know, you just I have to fucking tell them right now, and they have to make sure that they get it. This is pertinent information right now. We've got they must have it.
The Haunted Heart Podcast at gmail.com. That's why we say that fucking email address on this show so much.
Yeah. You remember that time that you gave a wrong email at one time? Or we had another weird email?
We did have, at one point we had another email, but it's always the Haunted Heart Podcast at gmail.com. Fuck that fake email. Yes. So Callie S. from Minnesota, thank you so much for the suggestion. It was really great, and I had a lot of fun researching it for you. So thanks for the suggestion, Callie. Now, Callie actually suggested that we cover the Midnight Game specifically.
Yeah.
So she definitely wanted to hear us talk about it. She had seen the film because there was a movie made about it in 2016, I think. Yeah, there's actually a couple movies. There was one that was made in 2016 called The Midnight Man. And then there was another one that was made actually a little earlier in 2013 called The Midnight Game. But they were both inspired by what we're about to talk about. So, probably one of the best well-known recent spooky games is The Midnight Game, or in some circles, The Midnight Man game. The game first surfaced online in the context of a creepypasta post in the mid to late 2000s. So it was a little after our time.
Yeah, we love that.
The post alleged, this was early creepypasta when it was still
when it was just that good pasta.
Yes. Russian sleep experiment pasta. That was some fucking alarming shit.
Yes. Like that good pasta cheese that kind of like ends up on the side of the bowl that you just kind of scrape with your fork.
That Alfredo with all that butter that kind of crusts up a little bit.
Yep.
You know it's going to make you sick later, but you still going at it.
You don't give a fuck.
You don't care. You gonna shit in somebody's bidet later. It's that kind of pasta. So, the post that alleged that the Midnight Game, the original post where it kind of came to be a thing, says that the Midnight Game is an old pagan ritual used mainly as punishment for those who have broken the laws of the pagan religion in question.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Which is really fun. It kind of has this game is repeated lots of places on the internet, and basically, interestingly enough, you know how when things are repeated in different sources, they kind of, it's kind of like the telephone game where it gets distorted over time.
Yep.
Interestingly enough, with this particular game, it may be because it's so like straightforward, but every source that I found it in, because I like to compare different places that it pops up, they all kind of had the same formulaic, like scripting, which we'll get into in a second when I tell you how to play. But they all kind of start out with, this is an old pagan game that was used to punish those who broke the laws of the pagan tradition.
I'm going to tell you what, though. Be careful with that shit.
But here's the thing. Not a whole lot of rules in pagan religions. Not a ton. Depends on the religion, for sure. But I don't know. I just feel like these modern day religions are way more into punishing people, if you ask me.
And that's shade.
So anyway, it's supposedly an old pagan ritual used to punish those who broke the laws. The post alleges that the game has a, quote, very existent chance of death, end quote.
Wow.
I like the use of the word existent. Instead of real, they looked it up in the thesaurus and they said, I'm going to use existent.
Existent.
A very existent chance of death. And carries an even higher chance of permanent mental scarring. Wow. So naturally, we're going to teach you how to play.
We're going to tell you how to play it.
First of all, I just do have to put up a disclaimer that if in the event the Midnight Man visits you and scars you permanently, mentally, emotionally, psychologically, potentially murders you and your whole family, the Haunted Heart is not liable for any therapist bills, medical bills, anything like that. No.
Please know that we are also not lawyers.
We're not. But we're not liable either.
We're not lawyers and we're not liable. Listen, I'm going to tell you what. The only thing that's going to show up in the middle of the night is going to be my fat ass. The Midnight Werewolf is going to show up asking what the fuck you got in your fridge.
Yes.
And then I'm going to take a look in your fridge, look longingly, see some things that I like kind of want, but then like don't have the energy to fix. And then just go to the pantry and get a pudding cup instead. And then I'm going to piece the fuck out.
Yes. That's your MO.
Yeah. That's what's going to happen. I'm just telling you right now.
So here are the instructions according to the Creepypasta Wiki that has ever so helpfully archived the instructions provided in the original post.
Thank you, Wiki.
We love Wiki.
Yes. I'm still not donating.
So the prerequisites. It must be exactly 12 a.m. when you begin performing the ritual. Otherwise, it will not work.
Well, I mean, yes, it's the Midnight Game.
Gotta have the
with the
witching
Midnight Man. You obviously need to perform it at midnight. If it's 12:01,
who out here is like, it's 6 p.m. I'm gonna see if I can summon that Midnight Man. Girl, it's in the title.
I mean, we're playing this right now, and it's 2 something during the day.
Yeah, that's why we're not recording this one at night, because I'm not trying to fucking have some bullshit pop off in my house.
Nah.
I'm not trying to create a fucking creepypasta tulpa that I just feed over and over again, like the Russian sleep experiment creepypasta that has been germinating in my head for like 12 years. So I feed that to Hope all the time.
Germinating.
I can't wait for that motherfucker. Germinate, not germinate.
I fucking hate that word. I mean, I don't hate it, but it's just such a like germinate. I don't know. It's weird for me. Continue.
Anyway, I know that motherfucker's coming for me one day because I just think about that way too much still. So, materials that we'll need. Get your shopping list out, Susie.
All right.
Write it down.
Let me pull out. Where's my? Okay. All right. Alexa.
You will need a candle.
Well. Take your pick,
Check.
honey. Got it.
You will need a piece of paper, a writing implement, matches or a lighter, salt, a wooden door, and at least 1 drop of your own blood.
Oh, I see. All right, I can get with like, all right, wooden door. Cool.
Look, we gonna need to go to Lowe's, not Home Depot.
Why does it gotta be a
Lowe's.
wooden board? A wooden door? Or all door?
I didn't make this game.
Are all doors wood?
Some are
Is
definitely
all
metal.
wood a door?
No, definitely not. So if you're playing with multiple people, they need their own aforementioned materials, and they will have to perform the steps below accordingly. You guys perform them, I guess, simultaneously, but separately. So write your full name, first, middle, and last, on the piece of paper. Put at least 1 drop of blood on the paper. Allow it to soak in. Then turn off all the lights in the place you're doing this. Go to your wooden door and place the paper with your name on it in front of the door. Now take out the candle and light it. Place it on top of the paper. Knock on the door 22 times. The hour must be 12 a.m. upon the final knock. So you got to do all this fast. Then open the door, blow out the candle, and close the door. You've just allowed the Midnight Man to enter your house.
Did you say close the door?
You open it,
Uh-huh.
and then you close it.
So
You open it and
at
you
the
blow
start.
out the candle.
See, this
and
is
then
why I
you
would
close
fuck up. Ain't no Minute Man coming to my... Ain't no... fuck,
Minute Man.
I said Minute Man.
Ain't no Minute Maid coming to my house.
No fucking
I don't
Minute
drink
Man.
that juice.
Ain't no Minute Man.
We
No.
got diabetes. We can't be having that juice.
No. So this is why he ain't coming to my house, because I'm gonna fuck it up
Yes,
royally. Like,
you're gonna fuck
what?
it up. Yes.
I'm gonna go and it's gonna be like, I'm like, what? I'm gonna lose count how many knocks.
This
I've
is
been
why
had.
you are not in charge of the rituals for this show. This is why I'm in charge of that.
And then also, it was just seemed very like, all right, so you've got to have your paper with your blood on it.
You gotta
and
be
then
ready
you
to
gotta
roll.
Hold it up, but
Yes.
then it was like you got to put your candle in front of it, and I'm like,
So I think if I were to edit this, because this is
Are
the
you
original
allowed
post,
to?
if I were to edit it, I would say you need a table that you can sit in front of the door to put your paper on, so that you can then set your candle down on top of it. Because I think the door is definitely attached to your fucking house. So I don't think that we're going to Lowe's and buying a door and sitting the door down.
Mm-mm.
I think it's a door in your house, which was not specified, by the way.
Well, I mean, or depending on the sleepover, you might have to buy a new bidet. Anyway, I pictured it like, so you have the paper on the door, and then you are holding the candle up against the paper, up against the door. Like you're holding the candle.
I don't think that's right. I don't think, because you don't have that many hands. It can't be right.
No, because you would have like you'd have your candle with the paper pressed up
You're
against
gonna light
it,
the
and you
paper
would
on
hold
fire.
it up. That's what I was thinking.
You're gonna fucking have arson.
We're gonna burn the fucking house down.
I'm thinking art pro tip.
Or maybe on the floor. Maybe you could do it on
Do
the
it
floor.
on the floor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Do it on the floor or have a small table, whatever, some nesting tables, whatever you need.
See, I'm making things way more complicated.
You are. So we open the door, blew out the candle, closed the door.
Yeah.
We've just allowed the Midnight Man to enter our house.
So,
Then immediately relight your candle. This is where the game begins. You must now lurk around your completely dark house with a lit candle in your hand. Your goal is to avoid the Midnight Man at all costs until 3:33 a.m. Should your candle ever go out, that means the Midnight Man is near you. You must relight your candle in the next 10 seconds. If you are not successful in doing this, you must then immediately surround yourself with a circle of salt. If you are unsuccessful in both of your actions, meaning the candle goes out and you don't put a circle of salt around yourself, the Midnight Man will create a hallucination of your greatest fear and rip your organs out one by one. You will feel it, but you will be unable to react. If you are successful in creating the circle of salt, you must remain inside the circle of salt until 3:33 a.m. If you are successful in relighting your candle, you may proceed with the game. You must continue to 3:33 a.m. without being attacked by the Midnight Man or being trapped in the circle of salt to win the Midnight Game. The Midnight Man will leave your house at 3:33 a.m. and you will be safe to proceed with your morning. An additional note.
oh.
Indications that you are near the Midnight Man will include Sudden drop in temperature, seeing a pure black humanoid figure through the darkness, and hearing very soft whispering coming from an indiscernible source. If you experience any of these symptoms, it is advised that you leave the area to avoid the Midnight Man and seek professional help.
But wait, there's more.
There actually is. Do not turn on any of the lights during the midnight game. Do not use a flashlight during the midnight game. Do not go to sleep during the midnight game. Do not attempt to use another person's blood on your name. Do not use a lighter as a substitute for a candle. It will not work. And definitely do not attempt to provoke the Midnight Man in any way. Even when the game is over, he will always be watching you now. Good luck.
Oh, no,
You're
no,
gonna
no,
need
ma'am.
it.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No. All right, first of all, you would fail at this because you would be asleep.
I went on, girl, that Midnight Man would come on in, he'd sit on down, and I would just like fall right over in his lap behind with my blanket, and I'm out.
You're out.
He'd be like, you want to watch something on Netflix? And I'd be like,
Yeah, no. See, this is a lot. So you've got to put First of all, I will say that in this whole list of things that they gave you, did they tell you to get salt? I don't remember that. They did? Again, I'm not paying attention. So I would
always
fail.
have salt on you. I carry salt in my motherfucking purse. Did you know that? I don't fuck around. You got to have salt all the time.
Listen, I'm
It's
just
important.
salty always. Well, so ripping your organs out
Yeah, it's going to be
doesn't
messy.
seem pleasant.
It's going to be a mess.
But when they also say do not provoke him, like, isn't like initiating this game like provoking him?
I feel like he probably likes it. He lives for it, man. That's his name. That'd be like, is a listener summoning us to their home, but they also have a pizza? Is that provoking us? No. Because we'd be like, the fuck are we? But there's pizza. So it's fine.
Okay. I just
doesn't seem like a good deal.
I know. Like, what do I get out of this?
You don't really get anything
die.
for it. It just seems like a lot to risk just because you're fucking bored.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm not gonna. If I make it out, I'm not gonna die. But he's still gonna be watching me forever, always.
Yeah. What's the payoff?
I don't know about that one. And also, like, you have to keep your candle lit, right? Because if
Yes.
it goes out, you have to relight it within 10 seconds.
Yes.
Okay. Well, what if it just like if a cat just like goes by and knocks it over? What
You
if
better
a gust of
fucking
air
relight it.
You have to relight it, but
Yeah.
you can't relight it with a fucking lighter. No.
I think you can use a lighter to relight the candle, but you can't just carry around a lighter, basically.
Oh, okay.
It's a lot of
I
rules.
don't know about this. This is a lot of rules and then not a lot of payoff for me. I
Maybe
don't
just
know
watch a
about that
movie
one.
instead from 12 to 3.
And that's the other thing. I'm like, I got to keep doing this till 3:30. 3?
I definitely think that I would fuck up by falling asleep.
You would fall asleep.
I'd be hiding and then I'd just fall asleep and it'd be over.
What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead, create my circle of salt, and just stay in it.
Yeah. But you lose if you do that. So you can, I think the salt is like the midway. In order to win, you have to keep the candle lit until 3:33 a.m.
Yeah.
But you don't win, I think, if you just do a circle of salt. But that is like because I don't know what happens if both those things, if
to
neither of
me,
those things happen.
it just seemed like
your
if
organs
you-
get ripped out.
To me, it just seemed like if your candle went out and you couldn't light it, you do a circle of salt.
Yes, so
to
that your
protect
organs don't get
yourself.
ripped out.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you won. That just means
So you just are in a circle of salt for eternity?
That just means you don't get your organs ripped out. No, I think you can come out of the salt after like 3:33, but you don't get like the bragging rights of like having won. I don't
won
fucking
against
know.
the fucking Midnight Man. No, I'm not going to say that.
All right. So yeah, my issue
1
with
out of
that one
10,
is that
don't recommend.
it doesn't really seem like there's a lot of payoff if we get everything right.
And a lot of rules.
Yes. So let's move on to our next game, perhaps.
Perhaps.
We all have trouble dealing with grief.
Yes.
Losing a loved one certainly isn't easy, and we often feel we're left with lots of loose ends to tie up. Mm-hmm. If you have a question about a loved one who's passed on to the other side, a question that you feel a deep and abiding need to learn the answer to. The locked ritual might help you in your quest for closure, but beware. The locked ritual puts you in touch not with your departed loved one directly, but with an intermediary of sorts. According to my sources, the locked ritual first started making its rounds on Reddit in March of 2019 and is Korean in origin, possibly originating in Seoul, South Korea. According to the original Redditors' posts, they heard about the ritual from their grandmother, who believed it to be at least several generations old. Several other Korean Redditors confirmed the apparent popularity of this ritual in Korea, claiming to have heard similar stories from elderly family members who would get angry when the topic of the locked ritual was brought up. As always, take Reddit with a grain of salt, but let's get into the rules of the game.
Take Reddit with that grain of salt that you got in your bag.
Always.
Who takes Reddit seriously, though?
Too many people. More than you would think. So, players. We have 2 players for this one. This is not one that you can do alone. You need 2 people.
Convenient.
So you need an accomplice. So here's our list of requirements. We need a quiet, dark room. We need a timekeeping device, preferably an analog clock with a second hand. 1 candle. Matches. Do not use a lighter. Salt. 2 strands of hair, 1 from each player. An offering. This offering should be a prized possession of one or both of the players, something with great significance or which means a great deal to at least one player. A question about a loved one who has passed on. A box, safe, or other receptacle that may be securely locked. And a safe place in your home to store the locked box. So, prior to beginning, clear your surroundings of any people or pets that are not participating in this game. We don't want any collateral damage. Ready your playing space. Close the curtains or otherwise block the windows of the dark, quiet room. Ensure no light leaks into the room from the outside. Turn off or unplug any devices in the room capable of making noise, or better yet, remove them from the room entirely. It sounds like recording a podcast, if I'm honest.
I was thinking that. I was like, 2 people, dark room.
No light penetrating the room in any way.
No other people. Yes. Wow.
Clear a space on the floor large enough for 2 people to comfortably sit in. Sounds like before we had our desk.
Shit, girl. Yes.
Sounds like them good old days.
Uh-huh.
Long-time listeners, you know,
good old days.
You know what we fucking mean.
6 months ago.
Turn off the lights. Ready most of your supplies. Gather together the candles, matches, salt, offering, and lockbox. Place these supplies in a safe spot in the prepared room. Ensure that the lockbox is unlocked. Exit the room if possible. It is not required to do so, but it is recommended. Decide on a question to ask. You only get 1, so make it count. Watch the timekeeping device. Wait until 3 a.m. At exactly 3 a.m., go to the prepared room if you are not already inside it. Bring the timekeeping device with you. Close the door behind you. Now here's the ritual. Retrieve your supplies from wherever you stored them. Sit cross-legged on the floor with both players opposite each other. Keep the timekeeping device somewhere close by where you both can see it. Keep the salt close by as well. Place the candle and the offering between you. Using the matches, light the candle. Pluck 1 hair from each principal's head, then hold the strands of hair over the candle's flame, each player handling their own hair, and allow them to burn up entirely. It's gonna stank too, because burnt hair smell bad. Reach around or across the candle and the offering and hold hands. Look into each other's eyes. Maintain eye contact. Do not look away. While continuing to maintain eye contact, speak the following words aloud and in unison, repeating them a total of 3 times. Yeogisinuen bingongang uo chawola. Nagunya yeoi iseumian nawala. Now close your eyes, both of you. Wait. Do not speak. Wait. When the moment feels right, open your eyes. If only 1 player opens their eyes, the ritual has not succeeded. Do not proceed. Let go of each other's hands, extinguish the candle's flame, scatter salt across the candle and the offering, just for good measure. Place the offering inside the lockbox, close the box, lock it securely. Leave the room and close the door behind you. Ideally, vacate the building entirely. Do not return to the building and or open the door to the room until the sun has risen. Once you returned, place the lockbox in a safe location in your home for storage. Don't open it. If both principals open their eyes at the same time, though, the ritual has succeeded. You may proceed, but remain calm, continuing to maintain eye contact as you do. That eye contact part is really important because if you've made it this far, you will at this point sense a presence in the room with you. The presence may appear as an actual figure, or it may simply be a feeling that you are no longer alone. Do not look at or towards the presence. Both players must continue to maintain eye contact with each other at all times. This is very important. The presence will now judge both you and your offering. If the presence remains silent, you or your offering have been judged unworthy. Do not proceed. Let go of each other's hands, extinguish the candle, and scatter salt across the candle and the offering. Place the offering inside the lockbox and lock it up tightly. Leave the room and close the door behind you. Ideally, vacate the building and do not return until the sun has risen. Once you have returned, place the lockbox in a safe location in your home for storage. Do not open it again, ever. If the presence remains in the room with you while you perform these safeguards, do not look at or towards it. Be careful in this room onwards. If the presence speaks, you and your offering have been judged worthy. You may proceed, but do not break your handhold and continue to maintain eye contact with your fellow principal. Do not look at or towards the presence. Just a note, the presence may not necessarily speak in the traditional sense, aloud or in words. Stay alert and pay attention. It's up to you to determine the manner in which the presence has chosen to speak and what its message might be. You may now ask your question to the figure. One principal may give voice to the question, or both players may ask it in unison together. Speak carefully and politely. Do not make any demands, and do not be disrespectful in any way. Listen or listen. Stay alert. Pay attention. Make note of the response. Do not break your handhold or eye contact. Do not look at or towards the presence. Once you have received your response, wait. Do not speak. Do not break your handhold. Do not break eye contact. When the moment feels right, extinguish the candle but maintain both your handhold and your eye contact. When the candle's flame has gone out, speak the following words aloud and in unison, repeating them a total of 3 times. Yuli seanmu iyo bad ajawa seo gamashai benina josimahi teo saneseu. Wait for precisely 1 minute. Watch the second hand on the timekeeping device, or if you're unable to watch it, listen to it ticking as each second goes by. When 1 minute has passed, you may break both your handhold and eye contact. Rise from the floor and turn on the lights. Place your offering in the lockbox and lock it securely. Go to sleep. When you wake in the morning, place the lockbox in a safe location in your home for storage. Do not open it. Do not speak of what you have just done with anyone besides the player with whom you perform the ritual ever. Do not speak of the response to your question bestowed upon you by the presence with anyone ever besides the principal with whom you performed the ritual. And do not ever open the lockbox again. It kind of sounds like how we got the podcast on Apple Podcasts. TBH. Sounds an awful lot like it.
So this one, all right. So it started out like not sounding as bad as like the Midnight Man, but it ended even more
ominously.
Yeah, because it's like you don't really. I mean, like at least with the Midnight Man, you know, like hey, you know what, my organs are going to be ripped out, right? And you know that beforehand, so there's no way that you can be like, hey, dude, what the fuck are you doing when he's ripping out your fucking organs? Because that's part of That's part of his job. He's like, listen, I'm just doing it, right? You knew about this. This is what you signed up for. But you don't know what's going to happen what happens if you open that box? What happens if someone just doesn't know what it is and they're like, what's in this box? And they open it up. And then
you fucked. Or they fucked. Everybody fucked. It ain't good.
I mean, yeah, does it come back for you? Like, it's interesting.
Yes.
This like weird, ominous figure that's like, you can't look at it.
I love
Like,
it. I love it. But see, I would fuck it up. This is another one that I wouldn't do because immediately, see, when I go to the eye doctor and they're like, okay, I'm going to shine a light in your eye, but like, look this way, look the opposite direction of the light. What do? Immediately, I look at the fucking light and then my retinas are like burned out. And it's like, why'd you do that? And I'm like, I have a problem.
Yeah, I always get the worst anxiety because they're like, which one of these is better? Which one of these looks better? And I'm like, they both look the fucking same to me. I don't really know. So I just say one and then I'm like, all right, I guess I don't know. But yeah, no, this just doesn't sound. I mean, I guess, see, at least with this one, you're getting a payoff, right?
Yes.
Because you get, there's something that you want to know.
Yes.
And so there is a bit of a payoff, so I can kind of see it. But again, we're talking about this eye contact. So, like, can you blink? Because, like, do you have to stay? Because, like, I can't do that.
I think you can, as long as you don't break the eye contact, you can blink, I think.
But
you just can't look anywhere else other than the eyes of the person. But can you imagine like sensing some fucking dark ass fucking like shadows and shit, and I just have to keep staring at you? Like, what the fuck? What in the bird box is that? Like, I'm not gonna win that game. I'm gonna fuck it up because I'm gonna be like, oh shit.
See, I would just be concerned that blinking would break the eye contact, right?
So you would try not to blink?
And I'm just sitting there like trying not to blink, and that would just be awful, right?
Until the presence just whispers in your ear, you can fucking blink, dude, it's fine.
Listen, just fucking blink.
Just fucking blink. You're making me nervous.
He's like, dude, please blink.
Could you please?
You're fucking weird.
Make this less weird for me.
Also, the fact that you both have to open your eyes at the same time,
or else you done fucked it up.
Yeah.
What I love is that even whether you get the answer to your question or not, if you even try and then you fuck it up, you still gotta lock your shit in the box and not take it out.
Yeah, you still have to lock your shit in the box. Also, love that it's like just remove yourself from your home entirely until sunrise.
Yes.
Take
a walk.
Yeah, like I don't know. I just feel like there are better ways, I guess, to communicate with the dead. I don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows? You know what? I'm just going to stick to my standard Ouija board. Okay. Good old fashioned. You fucking say goodbye.
You don't know whether you let a horrible spirit into your fucking house until weeks later. Like, we're not summoning the presence directly.
Yeah.
We're just gonna roll the dice, see what happens.
I'm just stick to your good old fashioned Ouija board for me. That's where I'm at. I'm not into these games. Okay. These games that these bitches be playing, I'm not. I can't. It's too many rules. You don't look. It's like, make sure you get your salt. Make sure you have your candles. Don't look this way. Get out. Make sure you lock this.
This is 100% what dating me is like. I just need you to know. Like, I am the presence. Do not look at the presence.
Do not look directly into her eyes.
100%.
Just stare.
Just beer. Just
away.
Acknowledge the presence. Let that be.
Don't be rude.
Leave something really expensive in a fucking lockbox. It's fine.
Don't be rude. What? And then, yeah, that's the other thing. What about, like, what are we offering, right? I mean, for me, if I open it up and I see, like, a fucking really important, like, family heirloom or some shit, I would be, like, rather disappointed. I would rather there be, like, a slice of pizza.
Yes.
Like, that would be my offering.
Venti caramel macchiato, sugar-free vanilla, extra shot of espresso, and extra caramel sauce. That's what I'm looking for in my lockbox. If you're trying to summon me to answer a fucking question for you, that's what you better have for me.
Yeah.
Okay?
I mean, what if that, like, in after we live our lives and we die, what if we get recruited into that? What if that's like part of the afterlife, right? So, like, part of the afterlife, it's very Beetlejuicy. You go or whatever, and there's some, like, rude fucking just over it secretary who looks at you and she's like, you, Midnight Man, go. And she looks at you and she's like, you, creepy entity, go. And then that's just what happens.
Shoot, I collect all that fucking loot. I'd be like, hell yes.
And then, but then, like, so you're kind of like forced to do it. So then I'm like forced to, like, tear open these people, and I'm like it's kind of cool the first few times. Then I'm like,
it's just really
it's just really annoying.
monotonous.
Because then I've got blood all over myself or whatever. So then, we get together when we're off or whatever, and then we start a paranormal podcast, where it's the Midnight Man meets Creepy Box Lady.
Creepy Box Lady.
And then the cycle just continues.
Yeah, I'm into it. Look out for that.
Wow.
Look out for that on your podcast apps. The way things are going, 2021.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready for the next one?
God, yes.
So I'll be the first to admit that I'm not actually too sure what the actual purpose of this next game is. But that's exactly why I included it. It sort of reminds me of stiff as a board, light as a feather, because it just sort of seems to be a bravado thing. The first mention of this game, called Purple Hearts, appeared online in 2011. However, the most complete version online today is from 2014. And there's honestly not much context on the motivation of why you should play it beyond it just being the thing to do to get spooked out. Spooking for spook's sakes, if you will.
Spooking for spook's sakes.
Here's how to play.
How do you play?
Well, here's how to play.
Okay. Tell me how to play.
So you need 2 players. You need one actual player, and then one player who is the sleeper and one player who is the guide. And then you can have bystanders, but that's optional.
Okay.
It's recommended, but you don't need
bystanders.
Bystander, an audience, if you will.
Yes, an audience.
So here's our list of requirements: a quiet, dark room.
Got it.
A pillow.
Got it.
Candles.
Got it.
Matches or a lighter.
Got it.
And an audio recording device.
Ooh.
We definitely got it.
Got it.
So, begin at any time. Bring all participants and supplies being utilized to the dark, quiet room. Close the door behind you. Close the curtains. Dim the lights. If using candles, set them up around the perimeter of the room, light them using the matches or lighter, and instead of dimming the lights, just turn the lights off entirely. Seat the guide cross-legged on the floor. If using the pillow, place it on the guide's lap. Position the sleeper such that they are lying down on the floor, face up, eyes closed, and with their head resting on the guide's lap. If bystanders are present, seat them comfortably and quietly in a circle around the sleeper and the guide. Maybe present them with a menu, a program of sorts for the evening. If using the audio recording device, turn it on and begin recording. If you are the guide, place your fingertips on the sleeper's temples and begin to rub them in a slow circular motion. If you are the sleeper, relax your body, keep your eyes closed, and concentrate on your breathing. Allow your thoughts to drift. When the moment seems right, begin counting backwards from 100 to 1. Once the sleeper begins counting, the guide and any bystanders present should begin chanting the phrase, "Purple Hearts," quietly, rhythmically, and repeatedly. Sleeper, keep counting. Guide and bystanders, keep chanting. If the sleeper falters or falls silent before reaching the count of 1, the ritual has succeeded. Guide and bystanders, cease your chant. You may proceed. If the sleeper reaches the count of 1, the ritual may or may not have succeeded. Guide and bystanders, cease your chant. Before proceeding, have the guide ask the sleeper if they are asleep. If the sleeper answers no, the ritual has likely not succeeded. Guide and bystanders, cease your chant. Examine the sleeper's behavior carefully for confirmation. If they open their eyes, sit upright, or otherwise behave as they normally do while awake, the ritual has not succeeded. Do not proceed. Extinguish the candles, open the curtains, turn on the lights, and disband the group of participants. You may try again another time. However, if the sleeper's behavior is odd or uncharacteristic in any way, they may, in fact, be asleep, despite answering otherwise. Further questioning may be required from the guide in order to determine the sleeper's true state. Suggested questions include, but are not limited to, inquiries about what they are if they are not asleep, where they believe themselves to be, and or what they believe themselves to be doing right at that particular moment. Sleeper, if you are not asleep, do not pretend to be asleep. Answer honestly if you are still awake. If the sleeper answers yes when asked whether they are sleeping or not, The ritual has succeeded. Guide and bystanders cease your chant. You may proceed. If you are the guide, now is the time to live up to your title. Guide the sleeper through the dream. Ask them where they are. Instruct them to describe anything they see, hear, smell, taste, feel, or otherwise experience. Have them narrate what they are doing and or whatever is happening around them. Encourage them with verbal prompts when necessary, but also listen. Listen to what they tell you. Pay attention. When the sleeper begins to describe seeing purple hearts, it is time to wake them up. Proceed to waking. To wake the sleeper, instruct them to reach out their hand and grab the purple heart. Once the sleeper has grabbed the purple heart in their dream, they should awaken in the physical world. Sleeper, when you have awakened, you may open your eyes and sit up. If using the audio recording device, stop recording and turn it off. Extinguish the candles if using. Open the curtains, turn on the lights. Leave the room. Everyone. You may listen to the audio recording at your leisure. If waking does not go as planned, see if waking fails. If waking fails. If the sleeper says that they're unable to grab the purple heart, or if they fail to wake after doing so, the guide should begin describing to the sleeper a door. Describe this door in as much detail as possible: its height, its width, its color, its material, age, knob, or handle, how it opens, whether it has a knocker, any detail you can provide. Be sure to describe the door as unlocked, easily opened, and smooth on its hinges. Then instruct the sleeper that they may find this door within their current surroundings. Be firm and definite in this assertion. The door will be present and the sleeper will be able to access it. If the sleeper has trouble locating it, help them to find it, describing to them exactly where it is in relation to themselves. Once they have found the door, instruct them to open it and step through it. Upon stepping through the door, the sleeper should awaken in the physical world. If the sleeper is unable to awaken at this point, make them as comfortable as you can. They might be there for a while.
Huh. Ooh. So this one I think is probably my favorite.
Really?
Yes. For the most part, it just sounds like a relaxing time.
I mean, for real. Like,
you know what I mean?
Could really
like,
benefit
I'm
from
like,
this, I feel like.
I definitely think that in this situation, you would have to be the sleeper.
Really?
Because you would be the one to fall asleep
Oh,
easier, I
Lordy.
think. I feel like. Me, I don't know that I would be able to fall asleep as easy. So I think that you would probably need to be the sleeper.
Yeah.
You think? I don't know.
I don't know, though. You're not super, like, you're not that descriptive. I feel like I'm like very much like, because I'm like the writer between the two of us.
That's
so I feel like I would be really descriptive. Like I feel like you'd be like, it's a door. It's a fucking door. What the fuck do you? It's right in front of you. It looks like a fucking door. And then I'd be fucked up, and I wouldn't be able to find it because you wouldn't be that descriptive enough to make it real.
But I am pretty visual, so I might be able to.
Maybe.
I just feel like you would be able to fall asleep easier. I think if we actually wanted to
Probably.
complete this, you would have to be the one to fall asleep, because me, I don't know that, because I would be like,
You'd be like, no, bitch, I'm not asleep.
But I will tell you this, though. Sounds like a great time. I love that we have an audience, right?
Absolutely.
We would set this up, and
This is going to be our next fucking live show. Absolutely. I'm just going to sleep.
Like, what we're going to do is there's going to be a theme. There's a dress code. Everyone, you come dressed all in black.
Black pajamas. Black silk pajamas.
Black silk pajamas. Yes.
It'll be like Eyes Wide Shut, but like not as fun as that.
Maybe like little masks or something that you can wear, very culty, but still really cute.
But no
chic.
orgies. We're not fucking.
No orgies. No, we're not fucking.
That's a different live show.
Yeah, another.
That's
live.
separate. That's a Patreon event.
That's the upcoming OnlyFans. Anyway, and then yes, so we're definitely gonna have. There's gonna be a program of events, lists of things that need to do. There's gonna be instructions. We're gonna have hors d'oeuvres.
God, I'm exhausted just thinking about planning it.
We're gonna have hors d'oeuvres. We're gonna have Yeah, and then just set it up. It's gonna look very much like an orgy though, because you're gonna be
no orgies.
We're gonna lead you into the room,
which is like a bedroom. There's gonna be a pillow.
You're dressed like in virginal white, and lots of candles. You're gonna lay down on the bed, and then we're gonna surround you.
Yes.
I
mean, honestly, rules are made to be broken. We'll just see what happens. Honestly, we'll play it by ear. You ready for the next game?
We'll put some lavender on your temples.
Ooh,
Help you fall asleep. That sounds
good.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, man, bring on the next motherfucking game.
Okay. So the next one's a little different.
It's different.
Indonesian in origin. This next game might be something you can play in your house during quarantine if you get lonely. It's called How to See Your Occult Twin.
Nope.
Although it admittedly sounds pretty fucking ominous, the concept of an occult twin doesn't have to be inherently evil. Islamic culture refers to these twins as Quarren, and they're thought to be spirits, both good and evil, who accompany humans throughout their lifetimes and attempt to influence their actions. It's very similar to the concept of the angel and devil on our shoulders from kids' cartoons. Mm-hmm. The point of this game, it seems, is to learn something about yourself from the doppelganger that you summon. According to most sources, your occult twin is only visible to you yourself. However, some sources do include reports of others witnessing an occult twin. This one's been around for a long time, especially in Indonesian and Malaysian circles on the internet. Mm-hmm. But the most recent version of it seems to have surfaced around 2010. Anyway, enough with this pretense. Are you ready to meet yourself?
To meet myself? Absolutely not. I've seen it. It's not. It's not worth it. Take me. I'll go back to the sleeping game. That bitch is annoying.
I know her.
I'll go back to the sleeping game.
Well, we're gonna tell you how to meet yourself. Well, sort of yourself. Here's how to play. So, for this game, you need one player, yourself. You will also need 7 strands of your own hair, 7 clippings of your own fingernails or toenails, 1 lime.
Sorry. That was so unexpected. What?
Sounds like a fucking cocktail recipe.
And 1 fresh squeezed lime, halved.
You'll also need nail scissors or clippers, a paring knife or some other small kitchen knife, a cutting board, 1 small piece of white cloth, and access to an outdoor space near your own home. Begin at any time. Gather your supplies together, spread the cloth out flat in front of you, pluck 7 strands of hair from your own head and lay them across the center of the cloth. Clip 7 nail clippings from your own fingernails or toenails. Lay them on the cloth with the strands of hair. Roll the cloth up tightly, hair, nail clippings, and all. Ensure that the hair and nail clippings do not escape from the rolled cloth. With the knife and cutting board, if any, slice the lime in half. One at a time, squeeze the 2 halves of the lime juice over the bundle of cloth until it is soaked in lime juice. Take the bundle of cloth to your chosen outdoor space. Place the bundle somewhere within this outdoor space where it's out of sight and unlikely to be disturbed. You do not need to bury it, but make sure it is well hidden. Ideally, tuck it beneath a bush or a shrub, or hide it near a fence. And most importantly, make sure you are not seen while doing this. Return inside. Wait. Live your life as usual. Count the nights as they go by. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 nights, including the night you prepared and placed your bundle of cloth. Wait and be ready. On the 8th night, watch, stay alert, be aware. Sometime during this night, your occult twin will appear to you. They may appear at any time and in any location, regardless as to when or where they appear. However, they will always appear to be mimicking something you have already done or copying what you are currently doing. Do not approach them, but observe them carefully. Make note of their actions. After 7 minutes, your occult twin will vanish. Once your occult twin has departed, retrieve the cloth bundle from its hiding place, burn it to ashes, and dispose of the remains. If you are unable to burn the cloth itself, you may unroll the cloth, burn the hair and nail clippings to ashes, then dispose of the ashes and cloth however you see fit. Now, consider the actions you witnessed your occult twin performing when they appeared to you. What does it tell you about yourself? You must have learned something. If you have not, well, there's no helping you now.
Is that it?
That's it.
What the fuck?
You better learn
You're
something.
supposed to watch it. And
I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna tell you exactly what my occult twin would be doing. She would fucking walk into the kitchen, make a pot of coffee, place both hands on the counter beside the pot of coffee, and then look down at the pot of coffee as it brews, like she is like ready to die. And that's what she would do, because that's what I fucking do every morning.
And again, mine would come downstairs,
Stare in
open
the
the fridge, stare in it, and then go and get a pudding cup and go away. And I'm just like, and then I'll look at it and I'll be like, and then proceed to do the same. I just don't know. Like, what are you supposed to learn?
What is this bitch gonna do? An interpretive
supposed to
dance?
learn?
What is she gonna teach me? Like, I need a PowerPoint, a whiteboard. I need something.
What if it's something like, what are you supposed to be looking for?
I don't know.
What if it's something really weird? Like, what if you, like, I don't know. Like, what if it just came down and then you just, like, I don't know. What if it just started, like, aggressively masturbating everywhere?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's just, like, dragging off like, really aggressively.
I mean, what? Okay.
Okay, well, I guess I've... Not sure what I learned there, but...
Not sure
maybe
what I learned
a new technique.
there.
Maybe they're doing it a different way.
Maybe.
Maybe it's a technique thing.
Maybe. I don't know.
It's an interesting one.
Yeah, I don't know. It just...
I don't know that I need two of me in the world, you know?
Well, it doesn't seem like... And see, this is another thing that's like, it ends ominously. Like, if you don't learn something... I mean, I guess, bitch, I'm just going to make sure I fucking learn something.
I mean, I learned that it's important to not look at the entity.
But no, this one you're supposed to.
Yeah, you are.
This one you're supposed to look at the entity and to just see it. Wouldn't that be weird, though?
I learned that we're all in the circle of life.
Can the entity look at you?
I think so. During the lockbox game?
No. I mean, during this
the
one.
occult twin?
Right.
Oh, it's not really certain whether it's not really clear whether they like acknowledge you being there or not, or whether they're just kind of like in a loop.
Or if it's like just a spirit or something. Like
Yeah.
it just goes about and it doesn't really acknowledge anything. Because that would be really interesting. Like, to me, an added twist to this game would be you can't let your occult self see you.
Oh, yeah.
If I'm adding to the telephone game, this is what we're going to do.
It.
You have to stay hidden. And if it sees you, then something
then it
horrible
steals your
happens to
fucking
you.
life.
Yeah.
And then you're the fucking goat. We just wrote a horror movie.
Oh, shit.
We're going to have to cut all
You
this
know
out
what?
because I'm not trying to get fucking copyrighted.
No, then we would be
I'm
able
not
to
trying
be the
to-
ones to
yeah.
do the copy.
Yeah.
Copyright.
We would. Well, no, not if somebody else who's more motivated actually does something with that idea.
No, well, we have proof. We have documentation. On this day, this is the idea.
Got it.
So it's funny though. A lot of these games really do just seem like podcasting. It honestly does. I mean, it all involves some sort of dark room, some sort of candles, closing the fucking curtains, which, I mean, if you look right now, look, dark room, candles, curtain closed.
It's right up our alley.
What are we?
I'm telling you, this is what we're destined to do.
One or two people.
This is going to be our new Patreon content. Until we actually summon the Midnight Man, and then one of us gets our organ stripped out.
What if he's a really nice guy, though?
What if we hit it off?
What
Yeah, listen to your podcast.
What if we get a fucking review? It's just M. It's titled MM as like the username.
Into it. Well, no. Drop us a fucking review, Midnight Man. I want to read it.
Those are cool.
So you want to hear our last game?
I do.
It's our last game for the evening.
For the evening, the last game to be played. I still say I'm gonna rate my top game at the end of this.
Okay.
So I'm interested to see where
Okay.
this next one falls.
So this one is called the Mailbox Game.
Well,
Now, this last game comes to us from a rather lackluster creepypasta from September 2017. While the creepypasta was in itself, I'll be honest, kind of trash, and not necessarily the good kind of trash.
Was it lackluster?
It was lackluster. The game is top-notch spookery. It has a lot in common with the much older letter ritual. Here's how to play. So you only need one player for this game. We also need a blank piece of paper, an envelope, a sterilized sharp object, matches or a lighter, and a mailbox. You can begin at any time. Gather all supplies except the matches or lighter and bring them to the mailbox. Once you've arrived, fix your gaze on the mailbox for approximately 6 seconds. Do not look away. Do not blink. You may count the seconds aloud if you like. Once the 6 seconds are up, place the blank piece of paper on the ground in front of the mailbox. You may now turn your gaze away from the mailbox if necessary. Using the sharp object, draw 1 drop of your own blood and allow it to drip onto the piece of paper. Do not write anything on the paper. Wait for the blood to dry. Once the blood is dry, fold the piece of paper, place it inside the envelope, and seal it. Do not address the envelope. Do not stamp the envelope. Place the envelope inside of the mailbox. Turn around. Walk away from the mailbox. Do not turn back or look at the mailbox at any point during your departure. Go home. Live your life. Wait 3 days. After the 3 days have passed, return to the mailbox. Bring the matches or lighter with you. Open the mailbox. Look inside. If the mailbox is empty, the ritual has failed. Do not proceed. Close the mailbox, turn around, and walk away. Do not look back. Do not attempt to perform the ritual again. If the mailbox contains a letter, the ritual has succeeded. You may proceed. Remove the letter from the mailbox. Take it somewhere safe, open it, and read it. Read it carefully. Read it well. When you've finished reading the letter, use the matches or lighter to burn the letter and its envelope to ashes. Now wait. Be patient. It may take hours, days, or weeks, but in time, whatever you found written in the letter will come to pass. The letter, you see, contains your fortune, the best fortune you could ever hope to have. Enjoy it. It will always be true, until it's not anymore. The recommended mailbox style for use in this ritual is a United States Postal Service compliant curbside mailbox. This variety of mailbox is used for both outgoing and incoming mail and is therefore ideal for performing this ritual as originally specified. Other varieties of mailboxes that may also be used for both outgoing and incoming mail are acceptable as well. If using a USPS compliant curbside mailbox, do not put the red flag up after placing your letter in the mailbox. In mailing the letter, you wouldn't want your regular mail carrier to pick up this letter by mistake. However, the ritual may be adapted to fit the Postal Service options available to you in your area. For example, you may use a public post box for mailing the letter. Should you do so, you may check the mailbox in which you receive your own mail for receiving the response. It's unclear on how such adaptations might affect the efficacy of the ritual, but nothing ventured, nothing gained. If there is a letter in the mailbox and receiving the response, don't fail to remove it. Definitely take it. Definitely read it. And if you do take it and read it, don't fail to burn it after reading it. There are rumors that this ritual is not, as it first appears, necessarily a ritual for generating a good fortune. There are rumors that it is instead a curse. That by dotting the letter with your blood, you're offering up a taste of yourself to something else. And if it or they find that taste appealing, let's just say that no amount of good fortune can help you now.
I'm going to tell you who it is. It's the fucking person who died and got assigned to be the ghostly postal worker. That's who the fuck it is.
And that motherfucker's mad.
And he's mad.
He's like, God damn it.
I got these letters. I got to keep delivering.
I got to keep writing these fortunes too. Shit, this ain't even no damn enterprise. I'm running out of shit to say.
What this fortune is. Yeah, fuck you. Go straight to hell. You know, that's how that would end up for me. That would have to end up for me. Fuck you. Bye. You now, your fortune is you now have to wear fucking, I don't know, fucking mixed fibers your whole life. I don't know.
Mixed fibers.
I don't know.
It's
You
hot
now,
in the summer.
you're fucking, I don't know. Also, like, think of being a regular postman and then, or post a woman.
You just see this fucking ominous, like folded up letter with like one blood drop that's like bleeding through the envelope. And you're like,
well, like, it's like, make sure that your postal worker doesn't take it. But like, I'm pretty sure if they were opening up your mailbox and they see what appears to be a letter in there.
This shit would only work if you had the coolest fucking postal service person ever. Me. Only if you had me as your fucking like your mail delivery person.
Yeah.
Mail carrier. That's the word. Thank you.
I mean, I'm kind of into this, like,
I'd be writing letters to all these people. I'd be like, you're going to have a fabulous future.
I'm kind of into this, like, ghostly postal service
Yep.
storyline, though.
You probably have good health insurance, too.
Yeah. I mean, I guess... I don't like the way it ended, though. I don't like this, like, they might get a taste for you. Honey, if you got a taste for me...
Talk about it.
Let's talk.
Come, I'll give you my number. Maybe you write me another letter. Maybe I'll write you back and give you my digits, girl. Maybe we start texting. Can you text instead? Or you can just write letters. Let me know. Is it like that? You know?
Yeah.
Is it on that prison life where you can only write me letters? You can't text me, but what's the deal?
Let
me know the
write
parameters.
a prisoner.com.
Yes.
Okay.
So what's your favorite?
I still think the sleeping game is my favorite.
Got it. Purple Hearts.
The Purple Hearts. Yeah, I like the Purple Hearts just because it seemed relaxing. It seemed like a good time and didn't seem like anything too bad would happen to you.
Just stressed.
I think that's I mean, I would be down to play that one, I think.
Yeah.
A little astral projection never hurt anyone, did it?
I think I like the Midnight Man game.
Okay.
Because I'm just about summoning strange men to my home.
Interesting. All right. Well, I'm not going to play that one with you. I'm going to stay outside the room for that one.
Got it. Just don't immediately come in if you hear any strange noises, because we might be reorganizing organs,
honey,
but in a different kind of way.
Yes, honey. We talking about rearranging your guts, honey. Damn, that's what we doing up in here today.
So again, I know I shouted it out at the beginning of the episode, but I just wanted to shout out special thanks to The Ghost in My Machine, which is my new favorite website for stories of the strange and unusual. It's not this episode isn't sponsored by them per se, but I really like the fucking website, and yeah. It's great. I love when I find a new source for research for the podcast. So, yeah.
Yeah,
very
that's
well
cool.
Put together.
That was fun.
It's difficult to find a source that like actually does research and like properly vets their sources for paranormal like topics, because you know there's a lot of Angel Fire websites with fucking black backgrounds and lime green text.
Lime green and fuchsia.
Yes,
has to be fuchsia. Yeah, so that was really fun.
You have some reviews for us.
I do. I have
Don't think I forgot.
We've got like I was kind of surprised. We got a lot. It's working.
Everybody's fucking at quarantine and they're like, I don't have anything to fucking do. I guess I'll just write a review for the Haunted Heart podcast.
That's kind of yeah.
Into it.
That's a fucking game for you. Mm-hmm. Go in there and do that.
So the review game.
The review game. So we've got this one titled Best Dark Hearts in Existence, 5 stars from Tress_C. And they say, seriously, if you're into magic, mayhem, murder, and movies, this podcast is for you. It's just movies in general.
Just movies.
Just movies.
Any kind, you know? Legend of Bagger Vance. Any kind of movie. We have lots of interests.
Legend of Caitlin and Kenneth are 2 of the best hosts of true crime. I know it was weird. It was weird, but it's cool. We still love you. Caitlin and Kenneth are 2 of the best hosts of true crime, paranormal, magic podcasts. Though their hearts live in darkness, they are also some of the most generous souls alive. This podcast doesn't take itself too seriously. You damn right we don't fucking take ourselves too seriously.
Most assuredly.
Unless Kenny feels something is suspicious. Or someone pisses Caitlin off, which I do not recommend. Their stories are entertaining and informative. Their attention to detail is unmatched. Really?
Really? Is it, girl?
Is it?
I appreciate you.
I don't know.
God bless you, whoever you are.
Even though they refer to themselves as trash talent, they are far from it. Dress and light a candle and then tune into this consistently entertaining podcast. You're missing out if you don't. That was fucking...
Who fucking left that?
I don't... Tress_C.
Fucking Tress_C, man. You have, like, moved me to near tears.
And then our next
Bless
up
you.
is from Leaning Cat, who says, one of my new faves, my true crime / spooky loving coworker / friend suggested this podcast, and I love it.
Yes.
The hosts
love
are
a coworker
funny.
suggestion.
The hosts are funny and friendly and awesome. The topics are interesting and varied, so you don't get bored. That's right, girl.
Anything but bored.
Anything.
Potentially, like, very frightened, afraid, triggered, upset, enraged. Really anything but bored.
Anything else.
Disgusted.
And then our last one is from Kayla Beth. Love that name. Mm-hmm. And it says, finally leaving a review.
Oh, a guilt review. I love those.
Guilt review.
Those are my favorite.
It's literally my favorite. I found this podcast by chance back in the fall of 2019, and I've been hooked ever since. I'm one of the rude ones who has yet to leave a review until now, though. Thank you. You're finally not rude. Finally. Sorry, fam. All hail the Witch Mother and Midnight Werewolf for providing our weekly dose of #trash talent. I look forward to it every week, and except for when we don't post, and the posts in the Facebook group. Y'all are my people, and I love you for keeping me entertained during the monotony of quarantine and working from home. P.S. Katie, I hope you get to return to the desert later this month. Welcome back to my home, Blackheart.
Oh, yay.
That's sweet. Speaking of,
Unfortunately.
unfortunately, we're not going.
But it was
to
not.
the
So,
desert.
like, that's one of those moments where the narrator comes over, but it was not to be. For Mad Monster, Arizona has been canceled for June.
It was canceled for June, and it was pushed back to October. That does not work for us. So we instead will be going to their Charlotte convention next year in February.
Yes.
But we will also hit up their Arizona convention next year, or most likely too.
Yes.
But
we're hoping to do both. We're hoping to do one in Charlotte for the Eastern Seaboard folks in February of 2021, and we will hopefully also do Mad Monster Arizona for the folks out west in June 2021. So be on the lookout for that. We'll announce the details and everything. We're super sad we can't see you guys, but we want to be safe, and we want you to be safe.
Save for, another global pandemic.
Yes. By the way, so that's when we'll be there. I do think there is, as Kenny said, the Mad Monster Arizona is happening in October. So if you were planning on going, there's a lot of really cool spooky vendors and awesome people that will be there. So definitely still check it out if you're in that area. Just know that the Haunted Heart will not be there until 2021. Hopefully when we have a better, brighter future.
Mm-hmm. And these trees have been grown or have helped.
Oh, yeah, the good trees. The good people trees.
The good people trees.
You understand we didn't play the Lady Gaga speech,
I know
so
we
that
did.
doesn't make sense.
I know we didn't. It doesn't make sense. But hopefully it'll be just a better, just be better.
It's just be better. It will be 2020.
I mean, because it literally anything could be better than now.
Okay.
So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for the people that have left reviews. It really warms my heart. Like, I get on and I scroll through and then I check, and then when I don't see one for a while, I am really disheartened.
My nipples get hard. So there you go.
When I see
Just
one,
do
I'm
it.
like,
Do it for the nipples.
I get it. I do. I I get a hard on, and so it just Katie's nips get hard. I get a hard on. It just really works
It's just a
for
lot.
us.
There's just a lot of fluids. Anyway,
yeah.
so leave us reviews, make us happy. Another thing that would make us happy is if you find us on social media. We're on Instagram at The Haunted Heart Podcast. We're on Twitter at The Haunted Heart. You can always email us, thehauntedheartpodcast@gmail.com. This episode was the result of a listener email, so definitely email us your episode ideas. If you have things that you want to hear us cover, we will keep track of them way better in email than we will in any other channel, I guess. Any other
format
method of contacting us. So shoot that email over to thehauntedheartpodcast@gmail.com, and we will be sure to see it and keep an eye on it.
Yes.
Join our Facebook group. If you're not part of our Facebook group, just search The Haunted Heart Podcast on Facebook. It'll pull up our page, which you can like. And by the way, you can give a review there too if you really want to get us excited. But you can also join our closed group. It's closed just for your benefit. We know that not everybody's super open with their spookiness or their whatever. So it's a closed group. Nobody can see you or anything you post in the group unless they are also part of the group. And then they already fucking know what the tea is. So if you request to join, either Kenny, myself, or a member of our Murder Mod Squad, we'll approve you in very quick order. Unless you're the Midnight Man, in which case, direct your attention to me. I will accept your DM. And you can kick it with us there. We have all sorts of good discussions in the Facebook group, people who are way cooler than us.
Yeah.
And it's just a lot of fun. And it's a way better environment in Facebook than literally every fucking thing else on Facebook.
True
Facebook
that.
be struggling.
True that.
And I think that's it. I think that's all the
that's
places
it.
to
That's
find
all the
us.
places.
Oh, you can find us on patreon.com/thehauntedheart.
Nope. Yep. That wasn't it. That wasn't it.
No, patreon.com/thehauntedheart. We have exclusive material there. We have a couple. There's some stuff on the horizon for the Patreon group that I think you guys are really going to enjoy. We also have a Patreon exclusive Discord that if you join the Patreon, you automatically get the link to Discord. And then you can chat with us there and the rest of the Haunted Heart fam.
Yeah. And then I did just want to also mention this when it's talking about Patreon. If you have purchased any merch, and I only bring this up just because someone had emailed, but our manufacturer has just been delayed on sending out stuff due to COVID. Thank you. So if you're delayed on getting anything that you've ordered or any of your Patreon perks, those have all been sent out and ordered. Just waiting on them. So
yeah, manufacturer is trying to keep things safe and fine in the era of COVID-19, I guess.
Yes.
So that's kind of slowing things down a little bit, but it'd be all right. We're keeping an eye on it.
Yep. So. And that's it, folks. So I guess all we have left to do is to light a candle, which they're already lit here, but light a candle and get your lockbox, get your salt.
Definitely bring the salt. Get your matches and make sure all the light in the room has been purged and summon up some good old-fashioned entities from the other side to fuck your life up until next week.
Yes. So sit down by yourself or with a partner, and what we want you to do is to stay spooky.